is Jennifer, Comics Will Break Your Heart on YouTube, or Comics Will Break Your Heart on Instagram, and Syd at Cartoon Syd on Twitter and other interwebs. So I want to start out. You missed last week. Do you have any brief thoughts on the Duke?
Oh man, I wasn't prepared to talk about him today because I'm mourning him. I heard last week, I didn't watch the show, but my excuse is that I moved again.
Valid.
Thank you. But I heard that Cidnya turned on Paul.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure. Was basically like, I hate him.
I can't say I'm shocked.
He just went super emo.
He's a certified freak.
Yes.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
And then she was like,
Wait, so that's
I just want to play Korn's Freak on a Leash now every time he comes on the page.
I mean, he's figuring it out, you know. He's just had this like breakthrough. I don't know what you call that.
Breakdown, breakthrough, lost his innocence.
All of it, yeah.
We kind of talked about the Duke's death is kind of flat.
Do you think so?
Mm-hmm.
I felt it didn't have the emotional impact you think that it would have with how much they foreshadowed it. Maybe that's why they foreshadow it so much.
So and this comes from a place of incredible bias, but I think I think that the way that his death kind of comes out of nowhere, I don't know. I think not that I like that he dies, but I think that I think it's a little more impactful like that. Like, it was just kind of fate, and it was going to happen regardless of what he did.
And I know you have a quote you love that you wanted to say when we got to it.
Oh my God, it's just the tooth!
The tooth!
The tooth! I'll be with that tattooed on me.
Yes.
Just the tooth.
The tooth. Remember.
Just remember.
It's so funny that you mentioned, like, I feel like I did speak about this, but like after like really getting a week to think about it, when it comes to the Duke's death, I feel like I almost experienced it the way Paul experienced it, because it was like the way that Paul experiences it, and it's part of that loss of innocence, but it's like it was just a fact to him, right? It was like it's just a fact like any other fact, and then he like got through all of his stuff, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna maybe feel emotions about it.
Yeah.
Again, you're echoing.
I don't know why I'm echoing. But...
You're not echoing for me. It's just
it's echoing on my side. Okay.
You said that a lot better than I did. Yeah, it was just kind of just an immediate thing that happened and had to be dealt with. And then he couldn't even mourn like for the longest time, and he was like, "What's wrong with me?
I'm a freak."
Yeah. Oh, he's
Mother.
Jessica's scared of him.
Oh, for sure, and
that's fair.
You see that in these chapters, like the way that he acts.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I can hear myself echoing now. Oh wait, no, I can't. Okay. So I'm not echoing anymore. But I definitely think that you see in these chapters that Jessica's afraid of him, that she's like, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah. And she even she mentions that she's scared of him, but there was that bit where he asked her some really awkward question about the pregnancy. And she just like answered him like she would answer a doctor, and she's like, "Why am I speaking to him this way?"
Yeah, because he was like, "How are you?" Like there was like a literally like a pregnant pause in it where it's like William Shatnering. I don't know, but she's like, "Wait, is he asking about me?" He's obviously referring to my lady condition.
Yeah.
So that was a very awkward moment between Paul and his mom.
And she also even recognized that he wasn't really asking out of like concern for like her, the child. He was asking like, "Are you well enough for us to make this journey?"
Yes.
Like, can you physically do it?
The beginning of our chapters here, this first Irulan excerpt from
I have to look at it.
In My Father's House, where she talks about her father like raging around the
When
palace.
the Duke died, yeah.
Yes.
She mentions that he must have some of the same bloodline as Paul.
Yes.
They're all interbred.
I saw then that he had been aroused to this passion not by concern over the dead Duke, but by what death implied for all royalty.
Mm-hmm.
And I just reading it, I'm picturing him going around like smashing furniture.
Mhm.
It's all your fault.
Yeah,
Flipping
just
tables.
probably in a white boy rage, like punching holes in the walls.
Yeah.
See
Like-
a proud boy.
Yeah, the moral of this story is that, like, one, daddy issues, and two, therapy, toxic
Yeah.
masculinity, like those. That's the terrible purpose, is toxic masculinity, and we need to go to therapy, folks.
Yeah, the terrible purpose is cognitive behavioral therapy.
If only Dr. Yue had been a therapist.
If only it stuck around a little bit longer.
Yes.
Oh, but that's
So-
another thing about the Duke's death. I'm so sorry I'm circling back to this, but that
Right.
image that's like the last coherent thing that he sees, which is just Dr. Yue's like purple ass lips
Mhm.
and his like flaccid ass mustache, just like spittle screaming, "The tooth!" That image lives in my mind rent free.
Oh, well, the circle logic between Piter and Baron Harkonnen, where he's like, well, you can go live in exile in the desert with Jessica, or
Or
you can be the Duchy.
Or
Ooh.
I would also like to mention, man, I wish I could have made it to that show last week, but the Baron's panic over everything that happened when he
Dr.
bit the
Yue's
tooth.
last line.
Yeah, and he just like he shuts the door on like a room full of dead men or whatever it is he says, and then like that Sardaukar guy is like interrogating him about it, and he's like, it's the first time you ever see the Baron like, oh fuck, like
yeah,
fucked up.
And we
My
talked about how like
goodness.
he wants to know nothing. He's like, kill whoever
Mhm.
takes them out to the desert. I don't want to know anything. The truth sayers, fuck that. I'm killing
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
he doesn't. It's funny
Subterfuge.
because that he's like that, but at the same time, in these chapters, he's basically like, you didn't bring me the body, so that doesn't mean that they're dead. Like, he wants as much proof as he can get that they're dead, but at the same time, he doesn't want to know anything about it, which
Yeah.
maybe that's
he-
after he realizes everything and what's going on. But
It's like show, don't tell.
yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of don't remember. So you guys help me out chronologically. What's the order of these chapters? So it starts
Okay,
with
so
them
it's Paul and his mother in the tent.
in the tent, and then they meet with Idaho.
Mhm.
Yeah, eventually, yes. And then we have
Kynes.
Liet Kynes, and then Thufir
Oh,
with
right.
the
And then
Fremen.
it's the Fear chapter. He gets captured.
Yes. And then we also have a lot of Baron Harkonnen with Raban the Beast
That's right.
and him getting awoken in the night, and his plan within plans also of, well, Fade Rotha is going to unseat him, and
Mm-hmm.
the people will love him and squeeze the
Yeah.
people and every
Squeeze.
dime out.
Yes.
That was such a weird moment when he's talking about like the squeeze. You're saying I can, like, that was such a weird moment. Like, I felt awkward being in that room with them.
Yeah. And like I can picture like his fat baby fist that he must have, right? Squeeze. Little Trump hands.
Yeah, little Trump hand.
There was something interesting in this first chapter where Paul is talking about the prescience and
Mhm.
how he's kind of losing himself in it. He's not even trusting his own eyes.
Yeah.
And he starts going into the axiom of the Bene Gesserit with, don't rely on one sense, use all your
Mhm.
senses.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like what seems like lifetimes to him, like could be a moment passing.
Yeah, a
And-
heartbeat.
He starts falling into it when he's flying the ornithopter.
Yes. And he describes it as like, I thought this was really like good visual language. He describes it as like you're looking at a path and it's like in a valley. And then there's bits that curve off like, into other valleys or like behind other mountains or whatever. So you can see like the path and the options, but you can't see all the options because some of them are in shadow.
You can't see like around the corner.
Yeah. And then in the ornithopter, like you mentioned, he realizes that like he's in one of the shadows and he's like really unsettled by that. And then he realizes like just in that short, like, I don't know, day or two, like how reliant he's become on that prescience for like his general awareness, and how being in that shadow like really upset him. Then he's like, okay, I'm not gonna use it like this anymore. So it's interesting to see him like in real
Realize it,
time.
internalize it.
Yeah, like in real time, like figure out how this shit works, you know? Like we saw his little emo breakdown and now we're seeing him, you know, lift himself up from his little still suit bootstraps.
He goes from kid to boy splaining real fast. Where he's not quite mansplaining,
not a
but
child
like
anymore.
it's just
Right?
like, I don't care, Mom. This is what's going on, Mom.
He's like, God, she's so slow.
Like he started like the point in time, like, gosh.
That's exactly how it feels.
Good, Mom.
And there's even moments in these
Uncle
chapters.
Thufir.
There's even like moments in these chapters where he does that, and Jessica just lets him, right? Like that's one thing that I do feel like you see that disappointing. To me, it's disappointing that like how powerful, one, that she is, two, how powerful the Bene Gesserit are, but then she's just like, okay, like I'm just gonna, boys will be boys, and just lets them do what the fuck ever.
She's somewhat frightened by him too, though.
Yeah. So I think that this like period of the book that we read, both of them are kind of in like a transitional period of figuring out what the fuck, you know. They both just lost the Duke. Cowabunga. They both just lost the Duke. Paul just got this weird ass fucking prescience, like superpower, more than a Mentat, more than a Bene Gesserit. He doesn't know what's going on. And yeah, they're running for their lives in this desert that like could kill them at any moment. So I think we see this a bit at the end of the last chapter we read, where Jessica gave him a little shit. She was like, "You lost your cool back there, Mr. Buddy. We're going back to training. Get in the tent, little guy."
I just imagine her like pulling him by the ear.
Yeah, exactly.
Get in there. You're in timeout training.
Yeah. So I think they're both in a place where they're still kind of figuring out how to live now, you know, because their life before no longer exists. So they're on, you know, completely new ground.
Yep.
So I want to give a shout out to the dick measuring contest that Liet Kynes and Paul have.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was friendly.
Well, Paul's like, I'm the Duke. You call me sire.
I think that was very well plotted.
It.
Yeah, like I liked the moment there because like this whole book is about like politics and like political play, and that was very much what he was doing. Like,
well,
Paul
Jessica going gently, like you're going too far.
Like that. I wish that, I mean, you know, she was obviously thinking it, and she just has to rely on Paul knowing these things that she knows that she may have taught him, or that he may have been exposed to at some point, but he, you know, using his prescience, I guess, would know exactly how he had to say everything, the way that he did say, like, okay, you're gonna call me sire, like, you know, I'm still the Duke. And that moment with Liet Kynes is just like, okay, little Duke, like, I'll go ahead and like pat your head. Okay, I guess you can tell me what to do. But then I feel like Paul, like, he does, like, he whips out his metaphorical dick and is just like, well, you know, I still have this like ducal ring, and I can still control these things. And, you know, what was it they were talking about, like, I see your vision. Like, Paul tells Kynes, like, I see your vision for what this planet can be, and I'm there for you. I'm going to do it. And basically they tell each other, like, I'm gonna die for you.
Here's your coin.
Yeah, it worked. Maybe they were, you know, sword fighting, but like it was a success. Like, like I think it was Jessica. She's like, he would die for him now.
The observation also where she's like, Liet's his Fremen name, where like the Fremen know him as I thought you said that Fremen know him as Liet, but everybody else knows him as Dr. Kynes. So he has two identities. But when he's with the Fremen, they're like kind of subservient to him a little bit, like almost like he has his own siege.
Yeah. The most awkward part of that chapter for me was whenever they walk into whatever room or cave that they're in.
Ecological testing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thing.
And they talk about there being filing cabinets. That just felt so weird. I'm like, why the fuck? What are they filing? Dead bats? Like, what is going on here? So
get me some spiced coffee, like.
Yeah. And so I don't know, like the fact that they were filing cabinets in this like underground research lab. I think maybe they'll put it in the movie. Maybe they'll put it in the movie.
Right. Oh my god.
He turns into Bill Lumberg.
I hope they do.
I'm gonna need those TPS reports.
Yeah.
He just pulls the spiced coffee out of the filing cabinet.
A little K cup of spiced coffee.
Exactly.
Sugar cubes.
I said I asked for cream.
That's a very good point. They even used the word filing cabinet.
Filing cabinet, like what is being filed in them cabinets? Like that's the real mystery.
I didn't think about it when I read it, but you're right.
The milk glass top that had bubbles blown in it.
Yeah,
like very, very detailed. Of like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it's meant to be like a mix between, like he's the empirical ecologist working for the Empire. Did I say that right? Doesn't matter. So it's like his normal living space mixed with like the fact that he's gone native and is a Fremen. So it's like
he married a wild woman.
Yeah. Ooh, good for him.
I do like that Frank Herbert's like, you know what? Filing cabinets are going to be in the future. I see a future for this. The cloud doesn't exist.
He's like, this cannot be improved by science. The filing cabinet is the ultimate storage device.
Yeah, that's the pinnacle of technology there was the filing cabinet.
Make it out of plasteel to make sure it will not break.
We can make personal shields, but we can't make better filing.
I really hope that the people like in production of the movie see this and they're like, okay, well, folks, we have a year. Let's do some reshoots. Let's get some filing cabinets up in this bitch.
There's staples right around the corner.
Yeah. Like Henry Cavill's mustache.
Yep.
Hi, Gambit.
Hey, Gambit. You always marry the wild woman. Always. Yeah.
He knows what he's talking about.
I'm gonna be just as salty because I know that whenever we were watching the trailer and like seeing the ornithopters, and like I'm gonna be
and
just
they weren't flapping,
and they weren't. No, well they did look like they were flapping, and so like I am gonna be as like a stickler for that as I am the filing cabinets. Like there better be a filing cabinet in this fucking movie.
I just see her IMDb review. I was down with the movie till there were no filing cabinets. This is a farce.
Yeah, this is
maybe the 12-hour Jodorowsky version.
Filing cabinet in this whole movie.
14-hour Jodorowsky movie, and that like there would have been at least like 20 minutes of like zooming into that filing cabinet in
it would have been like a surrealist filing cabinet
with Pink Floyd in the background playing it, and I don't know who would have been Liet Kynes, but I'm sure it would have been someone crazy during the 70s.
Oh, like, for sure.
Like I don't know, like maybe they could dig Syd Barrett out from Pink Floyd and be like, here you go, wild man.
Yeah.
It's just something insane. Like, I want the room with filing cabinets. I need truth in this art.
Yeah, filing cabinets everywhere. So that was if I had one takeaway from these chapters, it was the filing cabinet.
I don't, we should just turn off the stream because I don't think we're going to get to a more important point.
Like, do we even need to read any farther?
The book's over for us.
So hold on, Gambit. Don't joke about Dolly, because Dolly was supposed to be in this movie playing the Emperor.
Yeah.
Playing the Emperor?
Yes. He was going to be Emperor Shaddam.
That's pretty cool.
So we touched on the last episode. I think you would have been interested in the talk of when the not veiled pedophilia comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Baron, with him going, get me a young boy and some drugs.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want
to. Looks like Paul.
Don't want to exert myself.
Yeah.
Really? Yes, Gambit. Really.
Gambit, you need to. You need
I feel like
to
he's responding to the Dolly comment.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong about that, but
It is about him being in the
that's
movie.
what my Gambit senses tell me.
Amazon Prime Instant. Watch it.
Jodorowsky's Dune.
Yeah. And then just go ahead and watch his other movies, which are also batshit insane.
Yeah.
With his spiritual warriors. Hey, Dylan, what's up?
Hey.
Howdy.
If you didn't watch it, Jen reviewed Raw Shock, Dylan, and not as brutal as you, but she was not enjoying it.
Yeah, I was disappointed, even though going in I knew I was going to be disappointed.
You did despite me.
Yeah, I did.
That's probably the best motivation anyone's ever had for anything.
I'm fueled by spite and proving
people
wrong.
Jen.
So
it's a self-renewing resource.
Yeah.
Leave Alan Moore alone. Leave him in his little cave.
Yeah.
Let him do his magics.
Yes, because him and Grant Morrison have to have their war. I'm here for it. 2021, they're going to save it.
Jen, the one that had the theory that Alan Moore outlined the cure for 2021, and just none of us can understand it.
Well, in Jerusalem,
wizard.
Well, it's in Jerusalem, and no one's fucking read Jerusalem, so it's there. No one has. No,
it's a 60-hour audiobook. 60 hours.
I mean, I can listen to things. I could do it.
Cidnya tried. Her and her roommate. It did not happen.
I bet I could do it.
I mean,
that's
maybe.
Actually what I'm gonna pick for like next book club is I'm gonna do just Jerusalem. Let's read Jerusalem, and then we can do God Emperor.
Okay.
Well, if we went straight into God Emperor, that would cause problems.
Wait, actually, I don't trust anyone on this stream anymore ever since the lighthouse, so I retract my agreement. Okay. No, I will not participate.
That's okay, so that's fair. That's fair.
To be fair, on a flight watching that movie was a horrible idea.
It really was, and it was a really, really long flight, so they didn't turn the lights on at all, and all the flight attendants were sitting in the empty rows behind me. I'm sure just shocked at what I had on my fucking screen.
Is he beating a seagull to death?
Is he masturbating?
I'd like some tea.
Are we allowed to show that film on this flight?
Can I mirror this to the screen?
Yeah.
So in this book, we go into a lot about the Sardaukar in these chapters and how they're all around.
I'm so glad that you keep reminding me of things I wanted to say because my brain is mush currently. Yeah, when Saphir is talking to that Fremen gentleman, who I just envision is very handsome. We don't get a description of him. I bet he's cute.
I pictured being Charlie Hunnam.
I don't know who that is.
The guy from Sons of Anarchy, and he was also in Pacific Rim.
John Boyega?
No, the white dude in Pacific Rim 1.
I don't know movies.
Anyway, he's got sandy blonde hair, and they talk about like he's got this sandy blonde hair, blah blah blah, and kind of like Leah Kynes, they describe having sandy blonde hair too.
Yeah, they mentioned like a sandy beard, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
But it's just a beard full of sand, so
yeah.
Yeah,
it's good. It's exfoliating. Anyway, the nice gentleman, he was talking about how they took on like a guild of Sardaukar, and they only lost 2 men, and he's like, yeah, it was a good fight. And they're like, what? And then he tells them they captured a Sardaukar, and they're like, you what now? And he's like, only 3 of them. And they're like, spit takes all over the place.
Which is not good water discipline.
The Baron talks about that too, where he's like, wait, the Sardaukar got beat by the Fremen? He's like, how many did they lose? A fair amount. Oh, that means a lot.
He doesn't believe it. He's like, it must be Atreides in Fremen disguise. He's like, that's the only explanation. I really like how we're like slowly seeing glimpses of like how incredibly badass the Fremen are.
And no one knows how many there are because they're underground.
Nobody knows.
Because even Raban's like, I think we
power.
should exterminate them. And he's like, I don't care about them. He's like, I think you should care.
Yeah.
I think that we do get an estimate in like
one siege.
Yeah. We do get I
It's like
feel
2,000
20,000?
or 20,000 maybe.
I feel
I don't know.
At one point I thought that I saw 5 million when I was reading this. Maybe like I forget, but I could have sworn that I had seen like how many Fremen there were.
And in Irulan Appreciation, like almost every one of her flavor texts in the beginning of the chapters were fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these are really good. What's the one I really liked?
This one, my father once told me that respect for the truth comes close to being the basis for all morality. Something cannot emerge from nothing, he said. This is profound thinking if you understand how unstable the truth can be. From Conversations with Muad'Dib.
My favorite is at the age of 15, he had already learned silence.
That one's really good.
That's just the first one that I opened up to right now. So
hold on, let me find my favorite one. I don't want to misquote it. It's the one that it's something about like what do you hate?
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I have a fucking ebook, so it's so hard for me to
What do you despise? By this are you truly known?
Yeah.
From the Manual of Muad'Dib. Like her whole career is just writing about this dude.
She's the J.K. Rowling of Muad'Dib.
She probably wrote one other book that was like a mystery under a different name, and everybody's like, "This isn't the Muad'Dib books."
And has a good point. She's not problematic, so
yeah. And the name that
isn't she?
J.K. Rowling wrote underneath something Galbraith.
Yes, that's a mystery book.
Yeah, well, the name that she chose is this like
Robert Galbraith
eugenics person who or like conversion therapy, just some piece of shit. Like we should have known all along.
Like if Twitter had been around, they probably would have like cancel cultured Irulan.
Yeah. I think that Irulan would be live tweeting all of this. As I see it, I think that if we were going to have like a parody version of Dune, I could totally see, maybe it's just because I'm watching Parks and Rec, but Aubrey Plaza, I could see being like Princess Irulan, just like live tweeting everything that's going on.
That's my fan casting.
Yeah.
Watching these fucking twins again. They're not even mine. What the fuck? All I got in my books. I can't even marry this dude.
Yeah, I guess she does get kind of problematic later on in the storyline, but that's neither here nor there.
Yes. But again, like her quotes in these were really great.
Were.
And how come they haven't released her books? Like, I feel like, in the world where we get these like different POV books of Twilight, like let's get the Manual of Muad'Dib. I'd read the children's stories of Muad'Dib.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder because there were so many prequels and sequels and
Goodnight Sandworm. I'm down for it.
Spin-offs and house stories. Goodnight Sandworm.
Oh, by the way, the sandworm in this book that appears where Paul's like, holy
meow. Yeah, that's a big boy.
Yeah, he's like, that's the size of a freighter.
Bigger than a gilt freighter.
Yeah.
Thick with 2 C's.
Yeah.
Thick.
Long. With lots of ends.
Longworm is long.
Also, when the Baron starts getting into the math of how much it cost him to move the army to Arrakis, that he's going to have to pay for 60 years squeezing the planet.
Capitalist scum, yeah.
Squeezing.
Like that whole Raban conversation. He's like, just beat the people. I don't care what you do. Just use a fist and squeeze.
And he's like, exterminate? And he's like, no. Down, boy.
I just picture Pinky in the brain. Where he's like, Narf.
So really quick, I just want to say that there are 24 books that are attributed to Princess Irulan.
Oh.
In canon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, at least, Wikipedia canon. Yeah. She's got 24 books that we know of.
Wow. She's like the Nora Roberts. She's like the Stephen King of Muad'Dib.
There we go. Yeah.
Put out one a year. What's this one about? Oh, this is when Muad'Dib went for a walk. Where? Everywhere. Can't leave the planet.
Great job, Irulan. Keep it up.
So, how's your romance going with them? Chani's over there. Why don't you ask her? I'm out of here. Fuck this. I'm having some spice wine. I'm gonna get day drunk.
I really feel like if, well, I mean, I know that she gets a little bit,
Cunty.
well, yes. But I think that like in millennial culture today, they would
She'd be
just
Carrie Bradshaw from Sex and the City.
No, they would just be
Paul's
like
Mr. Big.
No, let me talk, dude. They would just be like in an open relationship. Like to me, I'm just like, dude, just like open up your relationship. Like who gives a shit? Like you're
you don't have to complicate this.
Yeah, just
his dad was his role model though.
Yeah, but like
Duke didn't open shit up.
That's because he wasn't with the times, man.
Put his dad's murderer on the fucking wall.
I mean, this is beyond what we're meant to be discussing, but no, we can't even talk about that. Although Paul did mention in one of these chapters, I think it's when he was talking to Liet Kynes, his plan to like basically have control over the Landsraad.
He was going to have to marry.
Is that the emperor doesn't have any heirs; he only has daughters. So I guess we do know somewhat what his plan is with
plans within plans
with Irulan, but I don't know.
He hasn't even appeared.
I'm just thinking, like, if you were reading this for the first time, right, by yourself, and you weren't, streaming with people, like, would you know that Irulan is like both this person that's writing these things about Muad'Dib and the daughter of the emperor that he's just said that he needs to marry into the family?
No, you wouldn't know unless you watch the movie. When she appears way earlier in the movie, like she's at that dinner.
Well, I think that you might know from these chapters that we read because she's talking about her father, and then he knows or that he has to marry the emperor's daughter.
Yeah, right.
So, but that would just be like maybe you're guessing.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely put 2 and 2 together, but I don't think that you would necessarily like recognize this person writing these intros as like the person that he's talking about forcing into marriage for political ties.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the emperor definitely had a crush on Duke Leto.
I mean, he's a smart guy. Of course he does.
Like 100. I mean, the fact that he's like raging around the house, that's not because of the bloodline. That's like he's just like, I don't want to do this.
The same reaction I had. It's #relatable.
So, do you think that Lady Jessica was really just Leto's beard? That Lady Jessica was really just
okay. This is worse than your Remender theory.
What?
So, do you know what I mean by the term like someone is someone's beard?
No.
It's basically
hiding his gayness.
So it's a straight or it's a queer person who keeps usually another straight person around as a relationship holder, and it's their beard. Like that's what it's referred to. So
okay, I see.
This is actually worse than your black science theory.
So no, I don't. Here's what I think about your conjecture is I do think that Duke Leto was in love with Lady Jessica unequivocally. It's possible that Duke Leto was also queer. I don't think that we don't know that he wasn't.
Pansexual, maybe?
Look at all of his admirers. Yeah. So I don't think those two are mutually exclusive. I think he could both love and be involved with Lady Jessica and be a queer icon.
And he even said, I'm not going to marry her to give other people hope.
Which I, for one, appreciate.
So Jen had this theory that Black Science, that Rick Remender cheated on his wife and he wrote Black Science as an apology for it.
Oh, gosh. I don't think so. He's a family man.
This was on our book club. She's like, this is what I think. It was just like, wait, what?
I mean, that's a hot take. That's a spicy niblet.
And I think it's because after reading Black Science and Low, like Rick Remender just like creates these characters that are just shitty characters, and like he cheats on his
protagonist.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
You're talking to the two biggest stands here, Remender.
Yeah.
I know that you don't like his writing, but he's my favorite writer, so I feel like
She loves his politics.
Yeah, I'm like a fan. I'm politically aligned, I guess, but when it comes to his writing, and man, I can't wait to read Scumbag this week.
Dylan gave it a 5 out of 5.
I haven't read it yet.
It comes out Wednesday.
Jen's for sure gonna hate it. I'm for sure gonna love it. Don't even tune into the show.
Oh, it'll be the 100th episode. It'll be all Remender and all Dune.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Man, we should do a Remender show with We've
talked about it.
But we have to cover all of our bases. So Jen is the auntie in this situation.
Yeah.
And I'm the soldier fanatic. I'm the Sardaukar of Remender.
I might have more Remender tattoos than you.
Probably. I think I only have one.
I got 3.
Yeah, I only have one.
I got Della from Low. I've got Maria, my favorite crazy assassin.
Yeah.
And I've got Debbie from Tokyo Ghost.
I have Led Dent. That's it. That's the only Remender thing I have.
I'd have to find someone who's like kind of lukewarm about Remender. I'm sure Cidnya would be. She liked Deadly Class. That's about it.
Yeah, for Jeff, I did enjoy Deadly Class. I have so here's the thing about Rick Remender. While we're on the subject, I don't hate all of his writing. I mildly enjoy some of it.
Good question.
People who hate the 80s and awesomeness.
Deadly Class was good. After my reread of Black Science and after my reread of Low, it just didn't make sense to me anymore. And I fell out of like with it. And my love-hate relationship with his writing turned more to just dislike. So
man,
I relate to people who are flawed in bags of shit.
Yeah.
That try to redeem themselves.
100%.
Maybe it's just our low self-esteem or something, Dan, but his shit resonates with me in the way other shit doesn't. His horrible, horrible protagonists are my favorite characters.
Although Low is ending kind of with a thud. I've kind of not
it's been on such a weird schedule for years now.
But 7 to Eternity is 100% my weirdness jam.
Oh, yeah. But that's still in hiatus, is it not?
It's coming back next 2 weeks from now.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh.
So thank you for joining Remender Cast, where we left Dune to talk about Rick Remender. We might have a show in the future. We still haven't done Lemire, and then I can hear Syd yell at me because I didn't put Descender in my top 10.
I pick about Tim 21. It's okay. It's fine. I just thought you had taste. It's fine.
I do love that book. It's
not that much.
Bandit and Driller. Did you see the Where the Wild Things Are cover with Driller and Mila? Oh my god, I love it so much.
I want to get it tattooed with my best friend Misha because she loves Driller. Arguably more than I love Driller, which I didn't know was attainable, but I think she does.
So if we do Descender as a book club, you have to come on, and if your friend wants to come on, I'll gladly have her on too to discuss it.
We should do Descender tattoos. I call Tim 21. She'll get Driller. Oh, you should get Effie.
I would either get Bandit or I would get
Bandit's a good choice.
Telsa?
Yeah. I was gonna say fucking Tesla.
Okay, back to the book. We're going way off subject. So the Sardaukar really are in this quite a bit. They're kind of in the background a lot, and they're described. And more you hear about how fucking deadly these guys are. Where even the Baron's listen, you got to tell them that I have to interrogate them. I want Kynes dead.
Yeah, and the Baron also mentions that they're all himbos.
And he wants to twist Thufir and try and make him the new Piter.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your use of the word himbo, by the way.
He did. He was like, he's like, they're not very cunning, are they? He's like, I think the emperor planned for that.
I also like how he has that weird statue art of a young boy in his
and like
room.
Like the way that they describe that statue too is that like he's like either running away or he's sprinting or there's some weird action that I'm just like, what is going on?
And he has to put a suspensor under his chin.
Oh my god! And it's padded. Yeah,
yes,
it's a padded one for comfort.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is going? I mean, we did say he was 440 pounds though, so like.
Well,
that's a lot of cushion to push.
Yeah.
What's the gravity like on Arrakis?
I don't think they ever talk about it.
No, I mean, the characters are humans, so I imagine it's similar to our gravity. I don't know.
Also, like we have another thing of that's poor water discipline. Mentioned where Paul like spits the water on the stuff to make it foam so they can get their pack out.
There's quite a bit of water discipline in these chapters because there's when the Fremen is talking to Thafir and Thafir is like so frustrated because he's like, we're not speaking the same fucking language. Like, I don't know what this guy's asking me. I don't know what he means. And then he says something about
fucking Jessica
about he's loyal to Paul's water, and he's like, why didn't you mention it was a water debt? And then he like gets everyone like, he's like, we're going. It's a water thing.
Oh, when that ship crashes, they're like, we need to get their water.
And then they keep mentioning like, what do they say? Like, do you have to make a water choice? Like, basically, are you gonna sacrifice these people, or are they worthy of their water? That was a very tense moment. I appreciated it a lot.
We also get the first reference of walking without rhythm.
Yes.
Unlike the cover.
Yeah. Yes.
You need to walk without rhythm.
And he's taking straight steps.
It's walk, pause.
But that scene
walk,
with the fear,
pause, slide.
I really liked that as well, Jen. I don't remember what I was
when Duncan Idaho shows up and he's like a Michael Bay movie, explosions, he's like, was that our atomics?
Oh my god, cheeky Duncan. He's like, no. They'll think again before using las guns.
That was a shield and some laser guns.
Sassy boy.
He has his final showdown in this, where he defends them. Jessica's like, he's not coming. Like, he's mortally wounded. Like, he's dead.
I mean, that's the kind of guy that you clone and reanimate into a Gola 4,000 times. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And another one. 4,000. Possibly more. R.I.P. Duncan Idaho. Drunken Idaho in the last.
For now.
Yeah.
Babe.
I like Duncan went out like you'd imagine he would, defending his Duke. And also Paul does the hand signs to him to, defend the room.
Yeah. Love those Atreides hand signals.
Because Jessica's like, oh, he did the hand sign. Oh, he did. Don't walk. It's not Dewey Cox. We don't walk hard. Is he on the couch?
I'm on the couch.
Oh.
He's sitting like 10 feet away.
I just laugh. I'm always like, is her partner at work or is he like right over there?
Nah.
I also Paul like starts calling out, you have the legend of the Lisan al-Gaib. What's up? I'm him.
Basically, like, and that's where we get that like dick measuring contest there. Like, and I think that Kynes' response to him is basically like
superstition.
Yeah. So what? That's an urban legend, dude.
Yeah.
He's
basically fact checking him. He's like,
yeah.
No. Hold up. I'm gonna Snopes you right now.
I mean, that's fair, like he's a fugitive on this planet now, and Kynes is meant to be working for the Emperor.
Two masters.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then he's like, could your Fremen provide me a proof positive that the Sardaukar are here in Harkonnen? And he's like, yeah, likely, sure.
Yeah, probably. We've captured a handful of them.
Like, it's so matter-of-factly, like, and that's what Paul...
Yeah, they're just Sardaukar.
Yeah,
They're
and
just
like,
the scourge of the Landsred.
Jessica, like, you're trying to blackmail the Emperor, and Paul's going, yeah, I mean,
Paul's
sure.
basically like, you taught me about blackmail.
And she's like, well, I want the throne. She's like, wait, you'd aim for that? She goes, yeah, I got coin for you, Elliot. Like, come on. It's like, you can't pay me off. He's like, what about loyalty? Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a whole planet.
I'll make this a fucking paradise.
Paul's playing like 4D chess.
And also,
He's playing that Star Wars chess.
Paul's like, law is the ultimate science. Thus, it reads above the Emperor's door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good sass moments in these chapters, I'm realizing now.
And then Kynes with the, my loyalty is not for sale, sire.
Paul's like, oh, but I think it is. I want to develop this planet.
Oh, no, Paul does the well-spoken. I apologize.
Yeah, but it works, doesn't it?
It does. That's where Jessica's like, my son. He has the Atreides sincerity. He has that tremendous, almost naive honor.
He gets it from his daddy.
And what a powerful force that truly is.
And she says of him, you know, in this moment, like, why is it that people just fall in love with the fucking Atreides so quick? Like, what is it about them that everyone just loves them?
How do the Atreides accomplish this thing so quickly, so easily?
Yeah, she's one to talk.
Yeah. Like, okay, Miss Voice.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's like so obsessed with the Atreides.
And yet they're according to the Baron, not a house that has money. As he tells them with Thufir. He's like, but we could give him more spies. Like, we're rich.
Yeah, but
I could twist him into a new piter, hopefully not addicted to spice.
Yeah, just addicted to a poison.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't make sense.
The cure.
Yeah, addicted to an antidote.
But like, I do love in that the piter thing from the last episode where I wanted that to be the community theater we do.
That episode?
Yes, with him and all of them in that room, because like, just Piter has some really good lines, and then the Baron like, oh, that's his move. He has a cat-like quick blade to kill Dr. Yue.
Yeah, he's like, it's good to know how he'd kill a man when he's left to his own devices.
Yes, and then Piter going, I could have many women? Ditch the bitch. Yes. So, and the Baron's like, I'm going to get this motherfucker out of here so quick.
Yeah, it is quite interesting, though, I think, that the Baron has decided to feed Thufir this false information that Jessica was the traitor, to hide from him everything about Yue, to make him think Yue died defending the Duke.
And also,
so
we can't
twist him. Like he says, the way you control a Mentat is by controlling his information. With false information, you get false results.
And also, don't tell the Emperor about Yue, because I don't want him knowing I could break the conditioning.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, there's some good nuggets in here with the Baron's chapter.
Yeah, he's such a snake.
And he's just like, Raban's so stupid, like, literally. And then he's like, wait, he just asked a really penetrating question. Maybe he's not that stupid. And also them scared of the Sardaukar is like, listen, they can be in the room, but you need to tell them I have to interrogate them because they're horrible at it.
Because they're himbos. Yeah, they're just the muscle.
When I think of himbos, like, I feel, maybe it's just because I don't know, from what I've seen on TikTok, like, I just imagine a whole bunch of dudes in like cut off shirts, like just flexing. So that's just how I imagine, which is pretty accurate, I feel like, in Dune.
Are you on TikTok, Jen?
How do you think they recognized them as Sardaukar?
And yes, I am on TikTok. I am a firm believer in TikTok because it's seriously like revolutionizing the youth. TikTok is a like socialist, like it's beautiful.
The kids are all right.
The kids are doing all right on TikTok. Believe me.
I imagine saying himbo. This is where like Sydney would be like, "Let me tell you about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure," because they're all himbos.
Yeah.
She does make me want to watch that show. Don't tell her I haven't seen it.
She has a post about that where she's like, "I just love the himbos of that show." And
I can relate.
What was that? There was another anime that was like nothing but himbos. Oh God, I don't remember what it's called now. No, but it literally was all like.
I'm interested to hear about it. When you remember, let me know.
Thank you for embarrassing me further. It was on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember. There's also the one with the clothing as the weapons.
Kill la Kill.
Yes, that had a ton of himbos in it too. Like many, many himbos.
Okay, let me just write that down.
It's something Tenge something was the one with the himbos in it, and
an anime with something Tenge.
Yes.
Oh, do you have a font of anime knowledge with you?
I have Google.
An anime with something Tenge. Not Trigun.
No. There's a couple good himbos in Trigun, but
with like dudes that are just stacked. Not JoJo. He said JoJo.
Weirdly, Gurren Lagann comes up quick, and that's not what.
Not Gurren Lagann.
He said JoJo.
Yeah, like just dudes, just fucking ripped.
Oh, that
Battle something?
No, that's not it. Fuck me. It's something Tenge.
Something Tenge.
Is it an old one?
No, I think it's new.
What has this show become?
Is there any?
I'll look it up later. I can't do this right now.
Yeah, there's plenty of time for you to tell me about the himbo anime.
Yeah, himbo anime. We'll come back to it.
So
why does that not have its own like just breakout when you look up himbo anime?
Yeah, where's Cidnya when we need her?
I'm sure people have made lists. Yeah, Cidnya should do that for her next.
Yeah, that should be one of her shows.
Project, yeah.
Well, right away came up, what is a himbo and why do we love them? Wow.
I don't need that information. I'm an expert. So we covered Paul and Jessica in the tent, meeting Idaho, going to Liet Kynes. We covered the fear being captured by the Baron. We covered the Baron. Skeezy in a lot of ways. And then it was Paul and the Ornithopter, which is really badass, by the way.
That Storm riding in the storm and their breakdown of riding in it. Like
15-year-old kid for 4 hours was doing something that most people would consider impossible. Like everyone agreed that they had to be dead. Even the Baron, after he gave them shit about it, he was like, they're certainly dead. Like,
well, didn't he say it was like 800 miles per hour or some shit like that?
Something stupid like that, yeah. Something unbelievable.
Like the wind would rip, skin
rip
from
metal.
bone.
Yeah.
And like just the whole thing of like, all I picture is from Serenity with the I'm a leaf in the wind. I'm a leaf in the wind.
Yeah. And then so they survive that. And then Paul says he's in one of the shadows. Like the path they're in a branch that he can't see out of. Mm-hmm. And he says that he thinks it's like when he saw this eventuality, this possibility in his prescience before, Idaho was with him and now it's not. So it's cool how you see it's cool how Frank Herbert's trying to give you kind of like his perspective and understanding of like this fucked up weird prescience that he has. And like the I don't know, the nature of it. Like it's not just seeing the future, right? It's seeing all these branching paths.
All of the futures.
It sounds terribly confusing.
We also go down where he is in when he loses the pack and everything in the sand dune when he's rescuing her.
Yeah, when
where that's kind of harrowing. Yes.
When he fucks up.
In this moment, because in the desert, like obviously you have to be a lot more savage in the desert. I was thinking if he had been born a Fremen and had been in that lifestyle and that culture, would he have sacrificed his mom in that moment and just let her go? Like, granted, he understands. He's like, and I forget what they call the state that she puts herself in, like the state of paralysis.
Tenjo Tenge.
Tenjo Tenge. Okay.
That's not what the state is called.
That is not what the state. I was like, oh, that's it, because I was like, sure, there's some words.
I think it's called Prana Bindu.
Yes. Thank you. So, in this state, he's like, okay, she probably did survive and she's just chilling, waiting for me. So I'm going to try to rescue her, but
float her heartbeat down.
Yeah, she basically put herself into a coma and just trusted that he would find her.
Yeah. So I think that if, one, he had maybe been more into Fremen culture, he probably wouldn't have, he would have been like, okay, like, bye.
Yeah. That's a possibility for sure.
Irulan has another fire excerpt from one of her many, many books here about Paul's prescience. Where Muad'Dib could indeed see the future, but you must understand the limits of this power. Think of sight. You have eyes, yet cannot see without light. If you are on the floor of a valley, you cannot see beyond your valley. Just so Muad'Dib could not always choose to look across the mysterious terrain. He tells us that a single obscure decision of prophecy, perhaps the choice of one word over another, could change the entire aspect of the future. He tells us the vision of time is broad, but when you pass through it, time becomes a narrow door, and always he thought the temptation to choose a clear, safe course, warning the path leads ever down into stagnation.
That sounds fucking stressful.
He sounds like he needed a therapist. So I have like 20 decisions to make, and like one's really fucking boring.
I feel like it's more than that. I feel like at any moment it would be like nearly infinite, right? Because you'd see like this choice and then the choices that branch off from that and the choices that branch off from that. Like in my mind's eye, it looks like a fucking mess.
Well, the God Emperor, they talk about how he lived everyone's lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4,000 years, you got time.
Yeah.
1 year for every Duncan.
I'll never tire of Duncan Idaho jokes. Like, I truly never will.
I wonder once the movie comes out, like, how dank are the memes going to be?
I'm part of like 5 different like Facebook groups for these memes, and they're already really fucking good.
I need any Duncan memes, especially Duncan harem memes.
Yeah.
Straight to my inbox.
That would be your version of God Emperor, where you just have like a harem of Duncans.
That's every planet is just populated with Duncans. No, except I'd find a way to bring back the Duke.
Just Caladan would be all Dukes.
Yeah, that'd be my summer home. But so just movie watchers aren't going to know about the Duncan harem. They won't have the secret knowledge.
No, because you know what's going to happen? They're going to tune into our show to catch up because we'll be way the fuck ahead.
Yeah, we'll be on like Chapter House by the time the fucking movie comes out.
Yeah.
The one I don't remember. But then we'll get into Heretics and hear Syd's love of Miles Tegg.
Hey, he's the second coming of the Kwisatz Haderach.
Siona's
a good girl.
She is. I also weirdly love the one that branches the Bene Gesserit with the... You're
talking about the sex nuns?
Yes.
Oh, shocking. Dan likes the sex nuns.
It's a good book.
He's like, I only read the book for literature.
The articles.
I mean, Irulan's actually my jam.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm just going to read Irulan with the sex nuns. Like, this is her 4th book. Guess what? It's about Muad'Dib. But this is the children's one.
In the Irulan fan club.
It's got picture books. Like, look, it's got pictures.
Reading time with the sex nuns.
It's reading and breeding.
Oh boy.
You can't spell read without read. Oh wait.
And we have now crossed a new path of this. Sydney is going to rewatch later going, what the fuck happened without me there?
She's like, this is why I can't. I have to be on the show. At least
all I did was go to Tampa on an interview. Next thing I know, they're talking about harems and himbos. Everything that's her jam.
I feel like those are topics that she would enjoy. Yeah.
100%.
Oh, definitely himbos. Himbos definitely. I don't know how she'd feel about, because Paul was kind of emo, but like it felt like him and Jessica came to an understanding by the end of these chapters. Like she's like, okay, kid's kind of cracking. I got to go full mom on him, and he's gonna get some fucking training.
Like eat your vegetables, Paul.
Like literally, she's like, get in the tent. Mom, no.
He just knows though. He's like, okay.
And I like how they said he's entering the sphincter of the tent.
Yeah, the tent sphincter. I mean, I feel like that's probably an excellent description of that kind of closure, right? I mean, is there a better way to describe that?
Because even like when she's sitting there, like giving him like, when in the last episode where Paul uses the voice, she's like, come on, just like gently, don't overexert the voice. Like you gotta like,
you'll do it wrong. You're not doing it right.
Just let me seduce them.
Yeah,
Shut up, son.
Just make sure they take my gag off.
Yeah.
And of course they had the deaf guy because of course like Baron's like, I don't need her using that shit. I know about it. I don't want a fucking truth sayer coming here because the truth sayer is everybody's scared of.
Because everyone's telling lies, man. It's all politics.
And they kind of describe the truth sayer like there's very few of them.
Yeah, not all Bene Gesserit can achieve it.
What I
can't have to be Reverend Mothers, and I don't even think all Reverend Mothers are truth sayers.
I can't remember. Did Jessica become a truth sayer after doing the water life, or was she just okay?
Jessica moved away. Jessica was like, I'm out this bitch. Like as soon as Alia started going crazy, she was done for.
Well, even before she went crazy, she's like, I'm gonna go to Getty Prime.
Jessica goes back to Caladan, does she not?
No, she takes over Getty Prime.
Does she?
Yes.
I guess we do need to reread the series, eh?
She's like, I own this bitch. I'm a Harkonnen.
Oh my god, what a bad bitch.
Like Caladan, they don't barely ever talk about.
God damn right.
She's like, I'm going to the slave pits. I'm going to free some dudes.
What?
She's going to get her own harem.
That's my fucking girl. Yeah.
With Gurney.
Hell yeah.
Gurney joins her. Paul stays with Stilgar.
Is this in... This must be in...
Children and Messiah. Children, she comes back with Gurney. To face Alia.
Okay. So in Dune Messiah, she leaves?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember people talking about it, and they're like about Alia and Paul. They're like their own mother won't stay on planet with them. Like,
I give a quick shout out. There was a page called YouTube. It was Ideas of Ice and Fire when Game of Thrones was big. He changed it to Quinn's Ideas. He did breakdowns of all and like full 2-hour videos of every Dune book.
That's cool.
With art and everything. They're awesome. He has a video called Is Paul a Villain?
A
good
question.
Very, very interesting, and he breaks down the mentats and everything, the history of all them. Like, I think he went all the way up to Heretics right now. He hasn't done Chapter House.
Super cool. Is he still making them?
Yes.
Oh, rad.
Yeah, it's Quinn's Ideas, and his production and everything is amazing. He does the voiceover himself. I found the channel a while back when I was real heavy into Game of Thrones. He was also the first person to come out against the writers of Game of Thrones and like just start bashing them relentlessly. At some point, I'll have you watch Game of Thrones just so you can share our love and hate of it.
I've been considering it, but it's like such a project. Jen said no.
And here's the
The
thing,
early
is that
seasons?
it's the early seasons are really good. Like, and if you've read the books, I feel like the books are going to be better, and the show ended not doing it justice.
I haven't read the books.
Okay, read the books.
I was gonna give her my HBO Max password just so she could watch Lovecraft Country and Watchmen.
Okay, Lovecraft Country just ended yesterday, and it was so good. I absolutely love Lovecraft Country. And then, like, I've watched the Watchmen show twice fully, so highly recommend.
Make sure you're in a good mental place to watch Watchmen, though.
I'm never in a good mental place.
Where you can stand seeing certain, like, treatment of people's. Because there's a lot of hangings in the early episodes where I'm like, this is kind of... And then the stuff happened in the real world at the same time. When I started watching, I was like, I don't think I can watch this.
Yeah.
But there is a hero/vigilante that's lube.
That's what?
He's like got like a suit of lube.
Lube?
Yes.
Like lubricant?
Yes.
In Watchmen?
Yes.
For a little bit, literally for like 10 minutes.
Interesting suit.
I mean,
and Dr. Manhattan
it's a
reappears.
useful tool. You could certainly build a vigilante persona out of the many uses of lube.
Oh God, Silk Spectre reappears.
Which one? The OG?
Really quick, my phone is about to die. So I'm going to gracefully be like, bye, friends.
Yeah, it is over an hour, so
bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Jen. Good to see you again.
Good seeing you too. So with that being said, I think we've hit a place where we can end. We did not decide what we're going to read next, but I will update
I kind of want to request we do a slightly shorter portion than we did this last time.
Yes, that was Cidnya who picked this. So
just because I'm working on a research paper for school.
So
I have the ebook, so my life is pain flipping pages.
So it'll be number 411, page 411, which is the We Came from Caladan.
My pages are different. Okay, yeah.
And
so I think we read like 90 pages.
Yes.
Let's thinking just cut it maybe 20 pages shorter than that. Like, we don't have to make it too much shorter, but just a little bit of shorter.
465.
My page numbers are different.
So
you have to tell me how many chapters.
Let's see. The first chapter is really short. 1, 2. I know this is entertaining for everyone.
Yeah, we can also figure this out after we end the stream. Sorry.
It's all right.
Not how these things work.
These chapters are really short.
Okay, well, just use your
5
judgment.
Chapters. 4 chapters. 4 chapters.
4 chapters?
Yes. So it's 410 through, or 411 through 465.
So like 50 pages?
Yes.
We can go a bit longer if you want.
Well, you want to do shorter, and that's
just
4 chapters.
Bit, though. Like, we don't have to go like half as long. We can aim for like 3/4. But it's up to you if you'd rather do a shorter section.
Oh, well, I was trying to accommodate you, so. But, the next chapter after that's only like 10 pages longer.
Okay,
so that would take us to about 60,
so let's do
pages.
5 chapters.
Okay. That's capable. All right. Thank you, everybody, for staying for that weird off-topic chat we did.
Sorry for things.
So we're doing 5 more chapters. We are on the Book of Muad'Dib right now. And thank you, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate, as always, join us on Saturday for the 100th episode, Sunday for the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Book Club, and we're back for the Dune Over on Monday. I will get no rest because it's 3 straight days of reading I have to do. So thank you, everybody. Take care and appreciate your viewing. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.